Yes, can you hear me? I
Yeah.
have I have the 5 minutes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So catch me up to speed, if you will. I mean, I have some notes, but I was driving when I was relayed the information from Caroline. So can you catch me up on your conversation with her?
Yeah. She called asking me if I was looking to sell, and sure.
Okay. So um, what assuming we agreed on the price and everything, how soon would you be ready to let go of the property?
Very soon. 2 weeks, 30 days, as soon as possible.
I'm actually gonna call time out here right now, Felipe, because I've had situations like this.
Uh-huh.
So I would literally just go straight into hey, so what's got you considering selling, and dig into that, because we want to get into the motivation first, okay? I know that Joey didn't drop much. I'm sorry, I was a terrible VA and I didn't dig into it more. But go into that. Let's just try and have a conversation with her. What's got you selling? Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and then get into the timeline.
All right. Yeah, Joey, sorry, my phone died here. Anyway, what's got you considering selling at the moment?
Oh yeah. Yeah, just some health problems have arisen. Needing to go to the doctor here soon. They talked about something coming up in my lab work, so it doesn't look that good for me, but hopefully it'll turn out all right. Um, I'm in my 50s and can't really take care of the properties that I have.
Man, I have a parent who his health decreased as well, and he had some properties, back in the day, and I know that he lost some of those properties, due to his health. So I definitely feel for you there. You mentioned some health problems. What would you care to elaborate a little bit on that?
Just a routine with the doctors every year. Something came up in my labs that they just want to do more blood work. They're they're just saying it doesn't look good right now, so we gotta go back and get some more blood work and probably some X-rays on some organs. Yeah, so
Mm. And what are the symptoms that you're feeling?
um, prefer not to get that personal.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay. And you mentioned that you're looking to sell in 2 weeks to 30 days. Um, is there something that's taking place, within 30 days that's causing you to want to sell so quickly?
Well, yeah, I'm just not looking too good. So, with my health, so I just want to get some of these properties out of my hands, and I might be looking at a huge medical bill.
Oh wow, man, how are you coping these days?
Well, I have a kid flying in to help me out. So, couple of weeks we'll be seeing the doctor after I do the blood test. So,
Okay, so you're looking to sell, fairly quickly. What is the condition of the property at the moment?
oh, which one were you talking about again?
So you're only looking to sell 123 Main Street, or are you looking to sell some others as well?
Um, yeah, if it helps with the medical bill, but
How many properties do you have?
I I have 10.
10 properties. Okay.
Yeah, they're all tenants inside. They've been paying. Um, I even with the COVID, they still paid, so I didn't have any issues. But yeah, might have to sell a few to help with the medical bills.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And all 10 of those are cash flowing?
A couple hundred a month.
Okay. How many were you thinking of selling to take care of those medical bills?
I might have to let them all go, depending how much the medical bill is going to be.
Man. Yeah, that's tough. Okay, well, let's start with this 123 Main Street. What, when was the last time you updated, say, the kitchens, the bathrooms, the roof, major systems and that sort of thing?
I got them about 20 years ago, and they're
20,
livable.
you said,
Yes.
oh, you said you
Yes.
got them 20 years ago. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, they're livable. Okay.
Yep.
But when was the last time you renovated the bathrooms and kitchens?
When I first got them.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's been no major renovations in any of those properties within 20 years?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay. So have you, been given any sort of ideas as far as how much those medical bills might be?
That's why my kid's flying in to help me think straight about this and to get my affairs in order. I
Affairs in order. That sounds maybe more serious than you're letting on. Joey, is that the case?
Yeah. Let's. Yeah.
You were going to say let's something, but you.
Yeah, I just got to get my affairs in order. It's just not looking good.
Okay. But you don't yet have a final verdict from your doctor on anything, correct?
Exactly. I always like to not be optimistic about anything.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call time out here again because I'm already thinking her kids are coming into town. I want you guys to think of this. The gears are spinning in my head. Okay, so she has 10 properties, right?
Right.
Please, I'm asking you a question, right? Okay. She wants to get her affairs in order. We know the outlook is not good. We know she has one child. She has these properties, and today is all about what, Felipe? What is today's theme?
Painting the picture.
No. Say it so all the new people know what it means.
Painting the picture.
Painting the picture. So let's kind of dig into the pain. Her kids are coming in. She's considering selling one property. She might like you, Felipe, and sell more than one. So I'm just thinking in my head how we can set it up to help out her kids potentially. What are you thinking that you're going to go into this call? What are you going to do with the rest of the call?
I wasn't sure.
Exactly.
I was going to try to dig into the pain a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm thinking like I'm almost at my limit there. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, you've done a great job. We know that she's really sick. I want us to start thinking of how we can help solve this solution. So let's dig into. We know ARV is what, Felipe? 200,000. She needs to sell one property. She's got these other properties. I mean, if the outlook's not too good, oh my gosh, I'm so whatever you need to do to dig into it. Let's think of like how we can help out our kids. What is her end goal here besides selling the property? If the outlook's not too good, how many children does she have? Is she setting up a trust for them? I don't know. Keston, I know that you're on here now. Is there any other things that you would like? What would you be thinking if you're at this part of the call?
So it goes back to that actively listening, right? It goes back to hearing that pain and kind of going past the intellectual smoke screen that Samla talks about. So affairs in order, what does that mean? Instead of saying that you're not letting on enough, or however you phrased it, do the dummy curve. Ask what does that mean? So when you say affairs in order, what does that look like? Do you need a lawyer? Become a solution provider, right? Like you've helped people in situations like this in the past get their affairs in order. Well, tell me a little bit more about what that looks like. What do you need? I could help you. And so you want to get her to open up more on that affairs in order, because that has been kind of an underlying theme, but not really said as much. Like you're talking about the property and things like that. And then anyway, I'm kind of like giving the entire review now, so I'm gonna just back up right here. But let's kind of go back in and dig a little bit more on that pain of affairs in order, and see what that looks like. See what she's really talking about. You could assume, but get that from her. As Sandler would say, dummy up a little.
Okay. All right. Hi, Joey.
Give you 2 more minutes, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks. Hi, Joey.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to help you, and I have helped, a whole bunch of sellers in situations that sound like they might mirror your situation. However, for me to be able to do so, I really need to know what's going on, the complete picture, because I've helped a lot of sellers get their affairs in order. Some of them have had terminal illnesses, and many other situations along the way as well. But what exactly do you mean by getting your affairs in order?
Yeah, like I said, the doctors are wanting to do some more blood work, and some of my organs are failing.
Okay.
So I need to get. Yeah, it's probably that time. I really don't want to leave a whole hassle to my kids that that they have to deal with if I pass away.
Okay. Has your doctor given you, a certain amount of time to live?
No. They have to do some more MRIs and stuff like that. They told me they just wanted to give me, a heads up that it's just not looking good.
Okay. So, assuming you've sold these 10 properties, I mean, what does life look like, after the sale of the last property? I mean, what are you trying to accomplish with the sale of these properties?
Well, the medical bill gets paid so that my kids don't have to deal with that, helping them out, that I don't leave such a burden for them.
Okay. What have you put in place thus far to quote unquote help your kids out?
Well, my smart lawyer kid is coming in, so she's coming to set things in order for me because, I'm just stubborn.
Okay. What is she planning on doing to set things in order?
Well, I don't understand it all, so I trust her. She's just going to come in and get things situated, and I'd like to sell a couple of the properties in case. I just don't want to put the medical bill on their shoulders.
Okay. Have you, drawn up a trust already, or what do you have in order to, pass along assets to your kids in the most economical way possible?
I definitely don't have that. That's why she's coming in to do whatever she has to do.
Okay. What kind of lawyer is she?
Time. So I'll start from right here. Joey, fantastic. You're a great seller. Great job.
Dude, I'm dealing with this, so that's why it's sometimes good to be the seller as well, so that you can see how other people deal with it. So exactly. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joey.
And so, Felipe, you know how this goes. I'm going to just start from here where you ended, and I'll come right back up to the call. Great job overall. And obviously, we're working on very specific things. And so in the actively listening part, this all comes down to, let's say, approach now. Because at this point, the seller isn't very knowledgeable as to what needs to happen next. So you don't want to keep asking questions that makes her feel stupid, because after a while, you're asking about trust and this and that, and she's starting to, I could hear it in her voice that she's starting to not feel like smart, because, she's already said that her other child would come and take care of this. So what do you do now? you want to get on the phone with that kid. You want to talk to that kid so that you guys could then come up with a solution for mom, right? And so that's where you want to go. You want to let the mother know that, hey, I am here to work with you. I've done this in the past. I work with lawyers and probate and all that type of stuff. We could definitely help you. And I wanted you to get to that place of painting the picture back to the seller having the motivation, because you hadn't really gotten to painting that picture, which is why last week we did drills. And we're going to go back into some drills because it's taking too long to get most of the motivation out. Because I really want to hear you paint that picture back versus dig, right? So just on this call, like in the beginning, Caroline had to jump in to have you go like, hey, what has you considering selling? That wasn't you went somewhere else first, instead of kind of getting to that, like that real pain, starting to uncover what's really going on. Secondly, another thing, like great job with relating your personal experience back with the seller and showing empathy. That was really good, right? And you continue to move the conversation through with that. Then you said, what are the symptoms? I wouldn't ask that question. I wouldn't ask what are the symptoms you're experiencing, because you're not a doctor, right? Like you want to get high level stuff and kind of move through. What I would ask though is, based on what you're experiencing, how does this affect your business? You want to always draw it back to the properties, because at the end of the day, you would take some of that information, but sometimes going too deep. And she shut down when you asked that question. She said, that's a little personal, right? Ask, how does this affect your business? Because now that relates to what you're trying to accomplish. Like the medical bills, I would have loved for you to ask about the medical bills and how much that, and you sort of got to it when you asked, well, how many properties do you need to sell to be able to get these medical bills squared away? And right here is where the pain started to kind of show itself, because now it's connected to not wanting to leave medical bills for the kids, right? That's kind of where she's summing up all the pain and all these things that kind of has her wanting to get her affairs in order. And so then you did something where I was like, you started talking about condition, and then you got back to medical bills, right? It seemed like you started to fish for questions to ask, and so you were kind of like left and right. And instead of kind of just harping in on that pain and getting all you need, and then moving on to the other section of the submarine. Great question still, just take it in department, like finish with one compartment, then move into the other compartment. Not saying that it's impossible or a terrible thing, but you kind of want to keep that structure unless something else comes up that she brings up that takes you back into another compartment of that submarine. Yeah, and then we kind of talked about the end of the call. So overall, I thought it was a good call. Just with some guidance, I think you'd have been able to pull that pain out.
Okay.
You look like you have a question.
Yeah, I do. I probably should know the answer to this already, but when you say painting the picture, are you talking about having the seller tell me what will happen after she sells the property? I exactly means.
Cool, fantastic question, because I think many people don't actually know what it means, and so that's why I always kind of related back to actively to then tell the seller everything that you could help them with if they sell you the property. So, for example, in this situation, you would say something like, "Hey, so Joey, if I was able, so it sounds like able to come in and buy enough properties that would get you to play your fears. And so your kids don't have any medical bills to worry about. Is that kind of what you're looking for? You took everything that she said. Now you're painting it back. And then from that, now this person feels like, oh my God, he understands me. I feel heard. And so now it's much easier to get a price from them, especially at the reduction, because let's say these properties had a ton of equity in them, but she really only needs 100,000 to clear her medical bills. And so that becomes the price for a few properties. Like, hey, so I could give you 100,000 for 5 properties, and you could have, like, let's say, way more in equity, because you're dealing with pain. You're just dealing with what she needs, and you're taking that pain away from her. So that's what painting the picture back to the seller looks like.
So basically, just paraphrasing what the seller told you, and I guess letting her know what you think she wants to accomplish by selling the property.
No, not think, what you know, because she just told you. And so that's why actively listening and painting the picture goes hand in hand, because you wouldn't know what to say if you hadn't gotten that information from her.
Right. Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it does.
And another question a lot of people ask is, well, when you uncover the real pain, because, some people may say the motivation of just being a tired landlord and all of that sounds like the real pain when it's really not, right? And so there's do you have any more questions, Felipe?
No, I'm done, I think.
Joey, did you have any more questions, being that this is an actual thing for you?
What I'm learning, like you said, the dummy curve, that's what I'm learning, even though I know I don't like to act dumb. I think a lot of us don't. So the dummy curve really helps. I just learn to be a bit more dumb when talking to them and actively listening. And like Keston said, yeah, you're going in thinking I'm a tired landlord, but you just uncovered health issues, which is really the problem.
Exactly. And so I recorded a little part of the Sandler submarine, the Sandler book, to play for you guys, just to hear the difference between what real pain sounds like. It's a minute long, so let's all kind of just listen in so that we'll know what we're looking for. And let me just share this really quickly. And so let's listen into what he's saying here so that we have a better understanding of what we're looking for.
They're pain indicators, but they're not real pain. When you hear ISS, continue asking questions. How will you know when you've succeeded? How will you know your prospect is in pain? You'll know because you've never heard it before. The prospect's responses will become emotional, not intellectual. The prospect's words will be different. A prospect in pain uses words such as worried, concerned, frustrated, wasted effort, angry, upset, afraid, lost all hope, terrible situation, and disappointed. For example, imagine an accountant calling on a prospect. The accountant asks the prospect, "How can I help you?" The prospect says, "I would like to pay less in taxes and keep more money in my pocket." That may sound like pain, but it's an ISS. It's not an emotional response. If the accountant tries to close the sale now, it's too early. There's no pain. When the prospect says, "I'm tired of giving away my money to the government, and I'm not going to do it anymore," or something similar, with emotion, that's pain. In addition to using emotional words or statements, a prospect in pain uses different body language.
So, do you guys get that? ISS means intellectual smokescreen. So it's just basically the top level stuff that somebody would say to that, like, oh, I want to sell because the house is too big, right? Like my kids moved and the house is too big now. So we just want to downsize. That's an intellectual smokescreen. There's more to it, right? And you have to get to that place of the emotion, that place of pain. If you don't get it, then you may lose the sale. And it's almost like who watches Fast and Furious? Not only 9, but throughout the series, there's something where Vin Diesel always says, too fast. You pull your nitro too fast, right? And he always pulls it after and ends up winning the race. You can't try to close the sale too fast. Otherwise, you're not going to close the seller. Most times that happens. And so when you have a seller ghost you and all that stuff, you pull your nitro too fast. And so you have to wait till you get the pain so that you pull it right on point. Y'all seen that paint in the picture? Like that's painting the picture right there, right? Is using analogies, using things to be able to tell a story back to the seller. And so, boom, let's get going. And Caroline, did you have anything to add here before?
No, Matt, no, Keston, seriously, this has been so insightful. Like I said, Tuesdays with Keston are my favorite days. So I think you hit the nail on the head. And I'm glad you were able to articulate what to say to Felipe. I knew Felipe, you're just thinking pain. Painting the picture is all about digging into the pain. And it's dig into the pain so you can use that to paint the picture. So, Keston, you did a great job of going through that and coaching that. So I'm going to let you pick the next people.
Awesome. So we're going to go back to the model that we had last week where we're going to do drills, because I want people to hear the motivation. I want you to have it, and I want you to continue from there, where it may be an intellectual smokescreen. It may be. And so you have to actively listen to see if it's an intellectual smokescreen or if it's the real thing, so that you could then paint the picture back to the seller. And so first up, I'm going to have my guy Manif help me with one of these to be a seller for me. And then we're going to have, let's see, who else we're going to have? Who do we want to be a buyer? Who do we want to be a buyer? You want to pick a buyer for me, Caroline?
Yeah, let's do, who have we not heard from? I want to hear, let's do Joel. Joel? Is it Joel or Joel?
Well, Joel, where you at, bro?
Joel, how you guys doing?
I see. Hey, what's up, Joel? I thought I remembered hearing that before.
Yeah.
All right, Joel. So let's get you as a buyer, and let's get Keston. Are you picking a seller? You got Manif?
Yep, Manif is the seller. So I've already given Manif what I'm going to read to you. So hey, Joel, were you here last week?
Yeah, I was here briefly. So
awesome.
If you can recap it again, just really quick.
So basically, I'm going to read the motivation for you. Listen to it as the seller explaining to you why they want to sell, and you're going to just jump in and continue asking questions or paint the picture back to the seller based on whatever is read to you. So you're not going to start from ring. You're going to start as soon as I stop, your time starts, and then you start asking more follow-up questions. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So here is motivation number 1. John and his family moved to Florida 6 months ago for his wife to pursue her dream of being Snow White at Disney World. They left behind their Georgia property because a buyer backed out on the day before closing due to a water heater blowing up and causing damage to the flooring in the basement. John and his wife are still paying the mortgage on this property, in addition to a HELOC loan, a home equity line of credit loan, which is causing high tension in the family. John wants the bleeding to stop at any cost possible. Paint a picture back to John and his wife using active listening, and if time permits, a solution. Go.
All right, John. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with me. I can hear the frustration. So, obviously this property is sitting there now. So what's next?
Next is to sell this property. Do you have an offer for me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would love to give you an offer. And let's say, I mean, even if I can, if I'm not the buyer for you, let's talk and hopefully I can even point you in the right direction. If not, so tell me, so it sounds like, with you try to sell it retail on the market, you had a buyer. So when they end up canceling the contract because of the water heater, did you guys get the water heater fixed?
No, I haven't been able to do that yet.
Yeah. Okay. So who's kind of looking over the property and kind of handling everything up there right now?
Well, it's me, but I just don't have time right now to really go back, fix it up, do anything like that. So we're really looking to sell this sooner than later,
Yeah. No, of course. And when you say sooner than later, what do you mean?
I mean, as soon as possible.
Okay. And have you done anything else to try to sell it? Have you gotten any offers? Have you talked to anybody else?
Yeah, I've had a couple offers. I've had a couple people like you, call me up and make me offers, but they were quite low and they really wouldn't cover the mortgage or the HELOC. So I'd actually have to come in and pay out of pocket.
Oh wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
how long have you been paying out of pocket on it?
Paying out of pocket as far as the mortgage and stuff.
Yeah, the monthly payment.
Yeah, I've been living there. And then 6 months, it's like I moved out here 6 months ago. So these past 6 months I'm paying that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. So and you guys are so you're paying the mortgage there and the HELOC.
Yeah.
And the mortgage here. How much is the mortgage and the HELOC payment costing you up there?
Oh man, like 2,500.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, I understand. I've been in a similar situation myself before. So I definitely get this. I definitely feel a sense of urgency and why you'd want to move quick on this. So I mean, have you thought of just renting it out and just kind of covering that?
No, I can't do that, man. I mean, I would need to fix the basement, right? And that flooding, like we got like the flooding under control. We had one of my friends go in and actually get the water out, but I mean the damage is there and needs new flooring and might have some mold that needs to be remediated. I just don't have the funds right now to go and do that and rent it. Like I can't do that.
Yeah. No, of course I get it. I can imagine if you guys came down here for Disney World for that magical experience, and then you're dealing with that headache up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, have you and your wife spoken about like what you wanted to do? Is she on board to kind of just sell it and?
Oh yeah, she's the number one person asking me, 3 times a day, like what have I done with the property? Have we sold it yet? Have we found a buyer? So she's definitely on board with selling it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it sounds like she feels the frustration too.
Yeah. No, I don't blame her.
Yeah. No, I get it. So I'm just trying to see what what the the best option may be. So you tell me what what are your thoughts? Like what you said your wife's frustrated, you guys obviously you want to move forward and kind of get rid of it quickly. I can tell that it's just more pain than anything. If so, it sounds like if I can make this work and purchase the property as is, I'll deal with the flooding, the mold remediation, and just kind of the hassle that you guys are good and okay to sell, let's say within the next 30 days. Is that right?
Yeah, that'd be fine, man. So what's your offer?
Really, I don't know. I know you said I have to kind of look a little more and see. But you mentioned with the HELOC and the mortgage, what is the balance on those with the 2,500 payment?
The total balance I have outstanding is about 215.
215. Okay.
Yeah. And the people off making me offers are coming in lower than that. I just don't have the funds to like pay, out of pocket, like at closing, pay like $10,000-$15,000 just to sell my house. Like that's ridiculous. Like these houses are worth like 300K all fixed up. I know there's some damage, but it's not like 80K of damage. It's a little bit of flooding in the basement. That was, the water's gone. They just need to remediate some of the mold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. And so you guys, so you said, you would have to come out 10 to 15K out of pocket. So you're getting offers around 200?
Yeah, 190. I think someone went up to like 198. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then closing costs and things like that. It's just, no, I can't do that.
And let me ask you, before the flooding and when you guys had it under contract, what price did you guys have it under contract for?
Oh, we had it under contract for like, I don't know, 288.
288.
So 6 months ago, and now the market as it is, it's like a lot more. Probably if we didn't have the damages, we probably could get like 300, 305, maybe even 310 for it.
Gotcha. Okay. And you said you didn't consider maybe just kind of fixing it and letting it go, right? And then selling it again?
No, I can't do that. I don't have the I don't have the funds. I just can't go back there and get this thing taken care of. Like I just don't have the ability to do that right now.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, like you said, it is something where, we can kind of help you with that stress and, so you don't have to go back there and you don't have to put any more money out. I know, 2,500 a month is a lot to be putting out every month. When
it is. It really is.
Yeah. So, I mean, what were you looking to walk away with? If we can make this work and if we can take over that problem, what would you want to walk away with after that 215 is paid off? What would you want to see in your pocket?
Whatever you can get me, man. Like just if you're good, you're a serious buyer, you can do, maybe 220, 225. Let's move forward.
Okay. So 220, 225. So you're looking to get about $5,000 or so in your pocket after everything is paid off?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Time.
All right.
Time. How do you feel, bro?
I don't know. I was trying to listen for those words, like the worry and the pain. So I don't know. I feel like I was able to get his frustration, but I don't know if I should have dug a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna just test this out. I'm not gonna ask Munif because I don't want him to give it away. So I thought you did really good. I thought you did really well. I thought you asked a lot of great questions. You asked how did you get what did you ask? How long have you been making these payments? How much is it costing you up there? Have you thought about renting it out? What's the balance? You got the offers from other people. And then you did a mini paint back to him with saying like, hey, if I'm able to take this pain away from you, what would that look like? And so you started to kind of to make those payments, those pain pictures back to him, which I thought was pretty good. So. I thought you did a good job of what you were doing. And it seemed as if you were starting to get that solution base to him, right? Like you could potentially lock this deal up. And so you did a pretty good job. There's still more pain there that is not told, that I'm going to have somebody else come up, same motivation, same everything, and see if they could uncover that pain. Would you have locked this contract up? Possibly, right? Possibly. It seemed like it was going to go in the right direction. It seemed like you were doing a really good job of asking those questions, but there was still some intellectual smokescreens there. And so I want to see if someone else, and I gave you more time. I gave you a good bit more time to see if you would pull it out. And while you did ask fantastic questions, the pain, the real kind of pain, still haven't been pulled out yet. You got, I would say you're like 75% there, because you did really good. And so let's get somebody else to try to do this. Joel, do you have any questions for me? If it is that the question would give away the answer, I'm probably going to tell you, hold on to that question. But what questions do you have for me, bro?
No, that was good. I think I know the answer, so I want to see as well. And that's what I'm working on, is to kind of like dig a little bit deeper there. So no, I really appreciate the feedback. That's what I was looking for. So thank you.
Sweet, bro.
Okay, so I already selected somebody too.
I see that. So, Daryl, you ready, bro? Would you like me to read the motivation over to you again so you could just flow right into it, or are you good?
Can you just read it one more time for me, please? I think I got it, but
awesome. I have no problem doing that, bro. So, again, John and his family moved to Florida 6 months ago for his wife to pursue her dream of being a Snow White at Disney World. They left behind their Georgia property because a buyer backed out the day before closing due to a water heater blowing up and causing damage to the floor in the basement. John and his wife are still paying the mortgage on his property, in addition to the HELOC loan, which is causing high tension in the family. John wants the bleeding to stop at any cost possible. Paint a picture back to John and his wife using active listening, and if time permits, a solution. Go.
Hey, John, so let me get this right, man. You're telling me that you're paying money on a house that you're not even in? You're bleeding?
Yeah, man. I'm I'm making the payments. So yeah, so what can you do for me, man? Can you buy this house for me?
That's the plan. Let me just get a bit more information to see, how we can actually come to that solution. You guys moved to Florida to I see you're supporting your wife, which is amazing, man. How has the job search been going for the both of you guys out there?
So she landed her Disney gig. And she's actually been supporting the both of us financially, because I still haven't been able to find a job.
Oh man, how's that make you feel?
Not good. I mean, we've been here for 6 months, and like we're making like you said, man, we're making like 2 payments, and we got the HELOC on that other house, so it's kind of like 3 mortgages almost, and it's really getting us.
Wow. And is that causing problems at home between both of you guys? I assume it is.
It is. It's like, I just want to be done with this. If we can just at least sell this house and just be done with it, we would be in a much better place. These payments are ridiculous. We can barely just even keep up.
Yeah, man. How much are the payments again?
About $2,500 a month.
2,500. I bet you can think of a lot of other stuff you can do with that 2,500, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're deep into our savings. Yeah. Like, we've saved a ton of money over the course of our lives together, and we're deep into it. And I don't know how long we can last going like this.
That was leading to my next question, John. What happened? What do you think would happen if you don't sell this property? If you keep this for like another year?
The bank would take it. Like, the bank would just come in and take it, and we'd probably have to declare bankruptcy or something like that. I don't know.
Bank will take it. Yeah, let's avoid that, man. Let's get to it. So a water heater exploded? What to do with that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just faulty. I guess like we had it patched up by some guy, and I don't know. He must have not done a good job at it, or must have been like a crappy contractor, and it blew up like a day before closing. That morning, it blew up, flooded the basement. Buyer, we had to let the buyer know, or our realtor had to let the buyer know, disclose that legally. So, the buyer backs out. We got the earnest money, which, was okay, but it all went toward the repair, right? I had a buddy of mine get a guy to get some mops and a couple of dehumidifiers, and they handled all that, and the rest of that money, of the earnest money, went toward, paying for the house. And yeah, I mean, the basement's, wrecked. But that's about it. I mean, the rest of the house is great. We remodeled it and everything. Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Had it all stitched, all figured out, and then
I know. Yeah. Do tell me about it. Seriously, it's ridiculous. But I mean, it's just been a burden for us, and like we're really looking to sell this thing and just get away from this all.
Yeah, for sure, man. So you tell me, what is the perfect solution for you in this situation?
Us walking away with a little bit of money, in our pocket after everything's been paid off. Just like seriously, like at this point, just a little bit of money, 10,
Paid off.
10, 13K. Yeah.
How much needs to get paid off?
So we have about the 2 loans, total about 215.
215,000.
And then there's a couple months of back payments that needs to be made for this property.
Okay, so you haven't been making the payments. Okay.
Yeah, for a couple months, yeah.
Have you gotten any letters or anything yet, or?
No, not yet. Not yet.
How many months exactly have you been behind?
3 exactly. This would be the 3rd. Yeah.
Okay, so you got to move pretty fast, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I have a few solutions. It seems like you've already kind of went the cash route. Have other investors been talking to you?
Yeah, I've been getting offers around, less than 215. Let's just say that, and it doesn't work for us. Like you just can't. Yeah, exactly.
Well, man, I may have a solution for you. You may not even like it, but I think it may be able to solve these problems you guys been having. Put a little bit of money in your pocket, stop the feud I guess you having with your wife about this property that's very unnecessary, that I would say. But it's a little different. Okay, so there's a way that we purchase properties to add to our rental portfolio and help people in situations like you all the time. And that's on terms. So anybody ever said anything like that to you?
No, it's the first time I'm hearing about terms. What do you mean by that?
Pause.
Yes.
Pause. So, Daryl, now that you have the pain,
Mm-hmm.
paint the picture back to the seller fully, right? Because you've pulled out. Great job in pulling out the pain. Now I want you to paint a picture back to the seller, then present solutions.
Gotcha.
Go.
So essentially, man, what's been going on is you've been missing payments, you've been bleeding, right? Essentially bleeding money, paying for a house that you're not living in, it's just been causing problems in your personal life that shouldn't be there. Essentially I have a solution that will help you stop making these payments. You'll be, totally off the hook from this property, and you can even walk away with some cash.
Okay. Yeah. What is that? What are we gonna do?
Yeah. So what we would do is
Boom. Time. You see the difference? One is you were basically, well, first of all, let me say, fantastic job. Let's just start from the beginning. You were able to pull out the motivation, the actual pain within the first minute of the call, and by asking the right questions, which was, this guy doesn't have a job. He didn't have a job. His wife was the only person supporting, which is why the bleeding was so heavy. And as a man, not being able to provide for 6 months, that could take a toll on the family, right? And so Daryl got in here and he asked a lot of great questions that got that to come out. It could have been based on the listening to the role play before, but it doesn't matter. He was able to get in and ask great questions. He then got to another major thing, which was the payments. They're back 3 months in payments, right? So now it's like really, 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 really heavy for them. And so great job in asking the right questions. You asked a lot of great questions, which clearly got you to the pain. It got you to the real pain versus the intellectual smokescreen that was kind of presented before. You got some things were given, but you had to uncover the rest, which is where when you press on that, and when you did, once I jumped in, when you presented the solution at first, you didn't even sound excited about it, bro. You were like, so I have a solution. You may not like it, but yada, yada, yada. Versus when you came with the second approach, which is, if I were able to come in and you painted that picture back to him, he was eating out of your hand. Like, yeah, let's do it. Like that's exactly it. And so that's the difference with painting that picture. Well, painting that picture, because you use the pain, he knows that you heard him. He knows that, oh my God, you have a solution to stop this. And now he's jumping all over you. You're his best friend. He is not going to ghost you. That's just the fact. What happened just now? He closed himself. You got all the pain, and so now he's ready to go. You could just have that, present that solution, and you're done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and I felt it too. As soon as I did it the second time, he told me, he's like, yeah. So what do we do? What's the plan? So
exactly.
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect, bro. That was amazing. And everyone in the chat, like you guys seen that? Like the difference between once he painted the picture back to the seller, the response from the seller, how that was just totally different than his first attempt. Fantastic job, bro. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Munif, thank you, bro. Thank you for being the seller for me.
Anytime.
That was amazing. So let's go on to another one. I got my homie. Where is she? Where is Dawn? Dawn. I see you, girl. Step up here, Dawn. So Dawn is going to be my next seller here in these drills. And then, Caroline, I'm going to have you pick a buyer. Who do you want to see go up? Who do you want to see practice and get that rep?
Yeah, you know what? I want to see, let's see Tyler. I don't think I've heard from Tyler. Let's get Tyler to be our buyer.
Tyler, bro.
Tyler, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to unmute. 3, 2, 1. All right, Ted, it's you, man. Let's go, Ted. You ready to be a buyer?
Yeah, a buyer.
Ted,
perfect. I love that, guys. When I call on you, let's go into it. Go ahead, Keston.
Sweet. So, Ted, you know what this is, bro. So we're going to jump right into questions before we get going.
I do not.
Perfect. So here goes motivation number 2. 65-year-old Judy just had a knee replacement and no longer wants to live in her 2-story property. It takes her 3 times as long to get up and down the stairs. Judy wants to sell the property, but selling the property has become difficult for her. Selling has become difficult for her since she has became a widow 6 months ago. She has lots of memories in the property, which allows her to, as a reminder of her husband that died 3 years ago. But moving closer to the kids is ultimately the best thing for her to do. The property is free and clear and is worth $300,000 when it's all fixed up. Paint a picture back to Judy using active listening, and if time permits, a solution. Ted, go.
So, Judy, I'm very sorry to hear about you losing your husband and you being in this position where you also had your knee replaced. I mean, how's it been just going throughout the house, having to deal with those the stairs? It must be very frustrating every day.
It is, going up and the stairs are so steep, and the surgery wasn't that long ago, so my knees are still, or my knee is still not. I have to actually have the other one, but they're still swollen, and I don't have the flexibility that I used to. I wish I was younger, but it's painful going up and down the stairs, and I'm afraid of falling and hurting myself.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that completely. Yeah, my mom, went through a very similar situation with a bad hip, and but luckily we didn't really have to go downstairs much, so I can understand where you're coming from. And so you were looking to move closer to your kids. Was that your goal?
Yeah, I think it's better. It's just getting really difficult, and something happens to me and I fall down those stairs. They're so far away. It's really unsafe for me, I feel. So, and my my husband, um yeah, it's been difficult without him, to be honest. So, if he was around, things I think would be different, because
Yeah.
he was always so strong, and
So it's been 3 years since the passing of your husband.
yeah, it's been well, it's not been 3 years. It's probably been about a year, but
Oh, okay.
we were married for 3 years, so
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like one of those. I hate to say it, because I never believed it. One of those love at first sights, but we met, we hit it off, and we just decided, why wait? We're in our 60s.
Amazing.
It doesn't make sense to wait another 3 or 4 years for a courtship. We just felt like we were for a good companionship, and then he died suddenly, so it was hard.
Yeah, it's sad. Sad situation. I mean, did you guys like pick out this house together, or did one of you guys have it before the other one?
Before what other one?
Have you been at the house for? So you were married to your husband for roughly 3 years. Did you guys buy the house together? Was it his house, your house?
Oh, no, 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 no. This was his house. I moved in with him.
Oh, okay. So it's got all of his things are still there, and yeah, you just feel his presence a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how far are your kids from you right now?
My kids are in other states. I have a daughter and a son in Texas. They're around like the San Antonio area. I have another child who's out in Washington State, but I'm really just moving closer to be near the two in Texas and stuff.
Okay. Are they able to give you any help? I mean, obviously they can't really help you around the house, but are they giving you any support?
So My daughter did. She came into town for my surgery, and she stayed with me for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I have great kids. My son, who was also in Texas, the one who's in Texas, he came and stayed with me for about a week and stuff like that. And but they both have families and they have jobs, and they couldn't really stay longer than that. And they are worried about me going up and down the stairs and stuff. So
Man, I would be too if my mom was in that situation. It sounds like they're supporting you as best as they can. It's just with the distance, it just might not be possible for them to come and live with you for a long period of time.
yeah, yeah. But so my husband though, um, he has kids too from another marriage, and they live close by. Um, well, by close by, I don't mean like super close, and one is like maybe 45 minutes away, and there's another one in Florida and stuff. But and I haven't really they haven't really been able to come over and help and stuff. So it's been just a difficult situation.
Okay, well, so I guess they're like kind of emotionally supporting you, but not really. They're not really there to help you out. Are they? I know you're talking about selling your house. Are they? Do they want you to sell their dad's old house?
Um, you know, that's that's a good question. I th- I feel like they would be fine if I sold it. Like we only had 3 years together, so it's not like we were super super close. Um, but again, they have their own lives, and their mom is still in the area, so I don't see why they would want me to keep the house. I mean, their father's not there, and they know it's
Yeah,
dangerous for me to go up and down the stairs too. So
yeah. So I guess it sounds like they'd be in support of you wanting to sell and to move on to the next place. I mean, have you spoke to any like agents about helping you list the house?
I didn't really speak to any agents. I mean, I have a friend who's an agent, and I hadn't really told her that I was interested in selling, but she knows that I've had surgery and stuff, and she did kind of drop the hint actually to me and said she said I could probably get a decent price if I needed to move and stuff, and she offered to be my realtor if that's something I wanted to do. But
Time. Boom. How you feeling, bro?
Uh, Feeling all right. Maybe that last question wasn't the best question to ask about the realtor, but I felt like I was digging in some pain.
Why do you feel like that wasn't a good question?
Because I guess if I asked about the realtor, she said, "Oh, I did know one." It sounds like the realtor could have gave her a solution rather than me giving a solution instead.
Gotcha. Well, you did a great job. You did a really, really good job. And I thought you were going to knock this one out of the park. You came in swinging. I'm like, oh, crap, was this one too easy? But then you diverted and went to other questions. You let her pull you down the rabbit hole instead of staying on course, which I'm glad because I get to have somebody else come and try this, and I get to continue on until somebody gets it. So my job of keeping my motivations is much better. But man, I really thought and it's not that, again, just like the person who went first, you asked the great questions, and this may still be a deal for you. But the seller, you hadn't gotten back to that place of painting that picture back to the seller to close themselves, right? And that's what we're trying to get to. And I'm giving you guys the same amount of time. This is 7 minutes, and you're getting a head start. So I do want you guys to get to that painting the picture a little faster, and ask those questions. But please don't get into trying to paint in the picture if you don't have the pain, right? And so that's why I haven't been stopping you guys, because I want to see if y'all hear those cues of the emotion and all of that that goes into painting the picture back to the seller. So with that being said, bro, you did a really good job. You asked great questions, you related, and you had empathy with your mom when it came to like the hip surgery and stuff like that. You asked about the kids. You asked, did you guys buy the house together? That was great. How far are your kids? And so some of these questions were great questions in the wrong place, because you were going one direction and then you asked the question that went in the other direction instead of hounding in on that particular thing and pulling everything that goes with that out. And here's what I'm realizing. I'm realizing that
Harder. Harder than we thought.
And this is what fighting pain is. It's not as simple, but I think as time goes on, we would be able to articulate and build those muscles in being able to hear the cues and ask the questions. Because what I'm realizing is that there are different, let's say, branches of questions for different things. And it's almost like a series of questions that should be asked once you go that branch. Once you go into a particular realm of people. So like, for example, a tired landlord, you go down that branch, you ask about, is this the only property you want to sell? What does retirement look like? There's a certain set of questions that you just want to dig into before you move on to the other thing. And here there are a certain set of questions that you should dig into when it comes to a situation like this. I am being vague on purpose because I want the other person to come up here and ask, and have an attempt to hit this one home. Tyler, before I go back to Tyler, Ted, do you have any questions for me? Again, if you ask me a question that would give it away, I wouldn't answer you. But do you have any questions for me right now, bro?
Oh, I don't think I have any questions, but thanks for the feedback, though, man.
Perfect. So, Tyler, I seen that you unmute. You ready, my man?
Yes, sir. Do you mind rereading the script again? One sec.
Anything for you, man. All right, so let's go. Motivation. 65-year-old Judy has just had a knee replacement and no longer wants to live in her 2-story property. It takes her 3 times as long to get up and down the stairs. Judy wants to sell the property, but selling has become difficult for her since she became a widow 6 months ago. She has a lot of memories in the property, which allows her to remember her husband of 3 years, but moving closer to her kids is ultimately the best thing for her to do. The property is free and clear and is worth $300,000 when it's all fixed up. Paint a picture back to Judy using active listening, and if time permits, present a solution. Go.
Hey, Judy. So you said that I have a note here that it's become difficult for you to sell your house here since your husband passed away a couple of months ago. Can you tell me more about why it's become difficult for you?
Well, I mean, I just had a knee replacement surgery, and it's getting around is very difficult. Like I don't know if you know what knee replacement surgeries feel like, but they're extremely painful, and your mobility is just, it's brutal. I've been in rehab for, I had to go to rehab, and even rehab is painful. So I can't get around like I used to. Getting up and down the stairs just it's not a good situation. I'm afraid that I'm gonna fall, and if I fall, it's not gonna be pretty.
No, I can only imagine the pain that would feel if you fell. My father-in-law is actually going through a knee issue right now as well. He spent the night in the hospital last night for a knee that has actually infected. He's had staph infection in his knee off and on for the last couple of years. So totally get that. Now, when it comes to selling, I know that the knee has been an issue. But as you know, this market is crazy right now. Have you thought about, listing this house with a realtor and potentially going that route? I know it would cause you to have to maybe leave the house when there were showings going on. But have you thought about just, finding you a good agent that you can trust and having them list it for you?
I mean, I've thought about it, and I haven't actually gone that route. I mean, I've kind of just been resigned to the fact that I'm gonna have to make some changes. I'm just not as mobile as I used to be, and I do have an acquaintance who is a realtor, and she knows the situation that I've been in, and she did suggest that if I needed to sell my house, that I could probably get a really good price for it, and so she sounded interested in being my realtor. Then if I decided to go that route, I just haven't gotten back to her. So
Gotcha. Well, I know there's going to be a lot of changes, as you said, that are going to have to happen in your life coming up here. Have you given any thought more to reaching out to her and working with her on getting this property sold?
I haven't, but I mean, I don't want to sell the house. I've spent a lot of time in this house with my husband, and we have a lot of good memories in here. And it's not an easy decision, so I guess maybe I've just been playing around with it for a little too long.
Yeah, I can tell there's a lot of memories and a lot of good times that were had in this house. Is it something that you're even truly considering selling? I mean, why wouldn't you just stay in the property and continue, being able to be around those memories and reliving those with them?
Because it's no longer safe for me.
When you say it's no longer safe, is that in case you fall? Is that really the main reason that you're scared of staying in the house?
Yeah, it's hard going up and down the stairs. I can't continue doing it. I don't know how long my knee is gonna be. I mean, knee replacement surgeries are supposed to go great, but what if it doesn't heal right? And I always have limited mobility, which I still do. One little slip down those stairs, and that's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So let me ask you this: that you have options here. You obviously can hire your realtor friend, and she can list it. I know she's interested. Have you thought about maybe just turning this property into a rental property and going and buying another house, or because I know this thing is free and clear for you, so that way.
Hey, I'm gonna call timeout on you, Tyler. Because what did Keston say at the beginning of this?
Paint the picture.
Mm-hmm. And we want to paint the picture back to them. So what is her problem?
Her knee surgery.
So let's try and paint that picture back. We figured out when Daryl did that, it opened up a lot of stuff for him, right? Figured out what the issue was for Daryl's call, the guy didn't have a job, right?
Yeah.
So paint the picture back to her. I wouldn't go into solutions.
Well, I'm trying to disqualify every other solution and then paint.
That's not what we're doing today. We're doing painting the picture. So we're not disqualifying because we have limited time, okay?
Okay.
Is that confusing? Did I cut off too soon, Keston?
Yeah, I actually like the direction he was going.
Oh. My bad then. Sorry. Go ahead then. I was just trying to help out. Go ahead, Tyler.
So, like we said, you have options there, right, Judy? There's a couple things you can do. You can list the property. You actually have the ability with this thing being free and clear to, just turn it into a rental property, and then it would create income for you every month. Have you thought about that as an option?
No, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to be a landlord.
When you say a lot of work, why would that be a lot of work for you?
Because you have to manage the property and manage tenants, and if I move, I want to move to where my kids are. I don't want to have to stay behind and I want to move to where my kids are. I don't want to be a landlord.
So
That's a nightmare.
Have you heard of rental property management companies out there that you could potentially stick it with them? They could manage it for you and just send you a check every month?
No, but I'm sure that costs some more money.
It definitely would. It would eat into some of the profit that you get every month, but it would kind of be a hands-free solution for you.
I haven't even given that a thought.
Okay. Well, it's something that we could talk about further. If that's something you want to explore, I'd be happy to help you go down that road if that's something you might choose. We've got some rental property management companies that we work with as well that we'd be happy to provide you as a solution if that's of any interest to you. So you said your ultimate goal is to get down to where the kids are, and you said they're in San Antonio. You got some daughters in San Antonio, is that right?
I have a daughter and a son in San Antonio, and yeah, I have another kid in Washington, and my stepchildren are a little bit closer, but
Gotcha. Well,
close enough.
Gotcha. Well, we'd love to have you in Texas. I'm here in Dallas, and get here as fast as you can. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
So ultimately, what I hear you saying, Judy, is that the knee surgery has been super painful. Ultimately, it's caused a lot of fear that would ultimately, if you fell, would really set you back, right? I know that this house, you've got a lot of memories with you and your husband, but it seems like the fear of falling outweighs wanting to stay behind. And ultimately, your kids are probably asking you to get closer to them so that they can look after you and help take care of you. So if we were able to come in and buy the house, would that help get you closer to your kids?
I mean, yeah, it would. But you were just trying to ask me if I wanted to rent out the property instead, so I'm confused.
Yeah, so like I said,
Time. Bro, Tyler, how are you feeling?
I felt good up until the point where I started trying to tie it all together. I didn't have any sort of price or how I would buy it, anything like that. So obviously left a piece there, but I was trying to get to ultimately wrapping up the picture. So I didn't have everything like I normally would, or I would try to, but I felt like I was trying to disqualify, push her away, and then bring her back.
Yeah, and I seen that, and I thought you were doing a really, really good job of doing that. And here's what I would say: Dawn is being a hell of a tough seller. She is not letting up any information. Dawn, you got to bring your level of difficulty down a few notches, like a game. Like
with the flow, it's what he gave me.
No, it's man, it's a great job. And to be honest, depending on the level of difficulty, I thought his first question would have uncovered the pain, right? I thought coming out of the gate, his first question was like, I was ready to call time. I'm like, boom, there it is. Perfect. But Dawn is tough. But I wanted to let it go on to see if at any point you would have brought it back to being direct and asking those branch questions that goes along with this type of situation, which you didn't ultimately get to. you took another route that I still really liked, where you were giving these options, disqualifying, which is ultimately a longer way to go, but it works, right? It definitely works. And I really, man, you asked amazing questions. And you were very direct. Hey, is that the real reason for you selling, with your knees and everything? Like, it was very direct. I really like that. From the memories, why don't you just consider keeping it? Because that's a ISS, that's the intellectual smokescreen. Why don't you just keep it? And I don't want to give too much, because I want to give somebody else a chance to get in here and try to crack Dawn. Even asking her to turn the difficulty level down a notch or two, with everything, right? But do you have any questions for me, Tyler? I think you did fantastic on this call. And when I'll give one more person a chance to crack it, and then I would kind of spill the beans as to what the real pain and some questions that you could ask to uncover it. So who wants to go again? Tyler, do you have any questions before we move?
Sir. I'm good. Appreciate that.
I'm going to chime in before we get the next one rolling. Keston. So I just dropped, Pace actually just texted me. I want to share what I just dropped in the chat. Can everybody see the comment I just dropped in the chat?
Yeah, the loom.
Perfect. Okay. I haven't even watched the video because I've been on the Zoom. But Pace just dropped this in. He wanted me to share this with everybody on the Daily Dial. If you guys were not on earlier, I also mentioned that we are going to start doing your top 50 objections that come to the Daily Dial, and Pace is going to answer those himself. So think of your top 50 objections, guys. I'm going to create a Google sheet and we'll keep track of it there. My next thing is, I want to just know, has Keston provided value today? Has this been valuable? Dawn, you don't have to answer. I know what you're going to say. She's over here like, yeah, I love getting to be the seller. And
I feel like I'm a newbie trying to follow his train of thought of questions and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I think I get so squirreled easily. So I empathize.
Isn't it great though? It's great seeing how he does this. Guys, has Keston brought value? Let me know. Yeah. Blow the chat up really quick. Value. Okay, great. So I just hopped on Facebook for a second. I saw Joey already made a post. Guys, Keston's doing this for free. What other Daily Dial closer actually comes in with motivation for us to role play? What other giving us gift cards last week from Keston? Guys, Keston is going above and beyond you. Give him some love on Facebook. Go share one. Go on and go into the public creative Facebook group and tell everybody, dude, we get to role play. Keston is a closer. He's just a student, and he's brought this value. Thank you so much. Guys, this is a bonus Zoom. I want us all to remember that. This is a bonus Zoom we did not pay for. It stays in place when you guys get. So without those Facebook posts, Pace will take this away. We have got to go give Keston some love. So we can. Is everybody becoming a user from hearing how Keston does this?
Yep.
Oh my God! Yes, there we go. Look at these comments. Yeah, guys, please go tell Keston how nice, and how sweet he is. For really, everywhere out here, he is helping me understand the Sandler. No, he's providing value for me. Please, guys, go let Keston know how handsome he is and how smart he is and how great of a teacher he is. Please, don't just say it in here. Say it on Facebook. And if you guys want this recording, we need how many people do we have on? We have 70 people on here. We need at least 50 posts talking about how great Keston is. I'll keep track. And if we get them, I'll get Reagan to put this in the Zoom vault immediately. Would that be helpful? Would you guys like to be able to listen to this immediately and hear Keston's feedback? Give those posts. Keston, I'm going to hand it back to you because I took too much time. Go ahead, Keston.
My face is turning red. Oh my goodness. So here's what. Let's jump into that next person. And I'm going to ask Avian to crack this one. Avian is amazing. And so I'm scared. I want to have her go up against Dawn because Dawn is tough, man. So let's do this. Avian, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So I'll read one more time, and then you just roll right into it. picking out whatever you need to pick out and get this done. Cool?
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
So, again, 65-year-old Judy has had a knee replacement and no longer wants to live in her 2-story property. It takes her 3 times as long to get up and go up and down the stairs. Judy wants to sell the property, but selling has become difficult for her since she became a widow 6 months ago. She has lots of memories in the property, which allows her to remember her husband of 3 years. But moving closer to her kids is ultimately the best thing for her to do. The property is free and clear and is worth $300,000 when it's all fixed up. Paint a picture back to Judy using active listening, and if time permits, present a solution. Avian, go.
Okay. Good morning, Judy.
Hi, good morning.
How are you feeling today?
My knee's in a lot of pain, but other than that, I'm good.
A lot of pain. Yeah, I know you were telling me that you had your surgery a while ago, right? And it sounds like it's still giving you problems.
Yeah, it's seems to be taking forever to heal.
Oh my goodness. So do you think you'll go get it checked up and you might have to do a second round?
No, I feel like I need more therapy, quite honestly, but even is quite painful.
Oh wow, really? Yeah, and therapy isn't cheap either, is it?
No, I mean insurance gives you a certain amount of therapy free, but then they stop after a while as if they think that everything's going to be fine after about like 8 or 10 sessions. Like that's stupid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're really taking proper care of you. It's just like they have you in and then they have you out. Do they have at least like a regimen that is working for you?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've got like 2 more sessions left, but they give you at home exercises that you're supposed to do
Okay.
to increase your flexibility and strength. And I do those. Just it's just taking a long time, and it just hurts. Just so I try to power through the pain, but I mean I'm still taking pain meds from time to time. So
Pain meds? What kind of pain meds are you having to take?
they gave me OxyContin, which I don't like, so I try to really take as little of that as possible, unless it's really, really bad. So I try to just stick with Tylenol and stuff for now, but every once in a while I do have to take those, and I don't know if you know about OxyContin is very addictive. So I've heard horrible stories of people getting addicted to that. So I'm very cognizant.
Okay, that's super smart because that could just lead into another problem, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like, you're at least trying to take care of yourself. How is it just getting around? Because I know you're in a lot of pain. I mean, when I stub my toe, I barely want to walk into the next room.
No, it's dangerous going up and down the stairs that I have. This house, they put the master on the top floor, which was the dumbest thing ever. Like, who does that? So, but I have to go up and down the stairs every day to go to bed, come down for breakfast. I try not to do it very often. I try to do as much as I can before I, need to come downstairs, and then just not go upstairs until I have to go to bed. So, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, so it sounds like at the beginning of each day, you have to really strategize just to live in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty tough. How long have you been living there? Remind me. I think you own that house with your husband, right?
So my husband, my husband owned this house. When we got married, I moved in.
Okay.
So we lived here. We were married for 3 years, and then he passed away.
I'm so sorry. I feel like I hear a little bit of sadness in your voice. Were you guys
it's only been like 6 months that he's been gone. So yeah, it's still tough.
Okay.
You know, and then the surgery just compounded things, so it's just been a really difficult time.
No, I can understand. I imagine like you've not only are you feeling physical pain, your heart must be hurting too. That's really rough. Well,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm sorry. Who is supporting you through all of this? Just to go
No,
through.
my kids they've been here for the surgery and stuff, but they have their jobs and they have families, so they haven't been able to stay here too long. I had a daughter who stayed here for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, about 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then my son came in and he stayed with me for about a week.
That's sweet.
Yeah, but I've been having to do a lot on my own and stuff like that. So they helped me initially get to and from my rehab, but you know, I just I feel very kind of isolated. So my husband's kids haven't really been helpful too much.
Okay. Well, um, your kids, do they live pretty far? Is that why it's challenging for them to get to you to help out?
Yeah, none of them live very close by. So two of my kids are in San Antonio, another's in Washington, and
Ooh.
kids are like 45 minutes to 2 hours away and stuff. So
Yeah, and a whole plane ride.
yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So your rehab, how have you been getting over there nowadays without them?
I have to drive myself.
You're driving yourself with a bad knee?
Yes.
That is so dangerous.
It is very, very dangerous.
Doesn't it feel a little scary?
It does.
Okay.
You know, one wrong jerk and my knee gets bent probably a little too much more than it's comfortable, and so yeah, let's just say I drive very slow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I imagine it's not that, not to say anything about your driving, but you can't trust other people on the road, right?
No,
Like
it's very defensive driving.
we're in front of you and then you got to jam on the brake. How bad would that be for your knee? And that would just set you back like months and months in therapy, and then you just have to do it all over.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like we're talking to our partners about probably moving into another property. What is the ideal situation for you? Because it doesn't sound like a house with a master all the way upstairs is what you're loving right now, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. It was great before. I mean, I was fine. I'm 65. I'm fairly still young, but
Yeah.
just the knee issues. I mean, it was fine going up the stairs for a while until my knees started getting really bad. So I need to just move out, and I want to move closer to my kids. So
Okay. Well, what makes sense to you? Would it make sense to move into a care home where you could be around more people, where you could?
No, I'm not ready for that.
No.
Please.
Now, well, I'm just trying to understand like what you're open to, right? Because for some people, they do want to have more round the clock care, especially when they have health issues and they're afraid of injury. But then it sounds like you're totally independent. You can take care of yourself. You just want to be closer to your family. Is that right?
Yeah, I need to be closer to them. I mean, let's face it. I still feel good, but
Time. Let's call time right here. Man, what fantastic rapport building skills. Like Avian is crushing it.
I love Avian.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
I was just like laying up because I was just about to paint the picture for her to move into an apartment and then seller finance.
Right. No, I seen you going there. You're more of a long distance closer. where you get and you gather every single thing and properly before painting that picture. So you didn't actually get to painting the picture, but I think you've taught us all here a fantastic rapport building skill lesson right there just from listening to that call. So give Avian some love for that amazing rapport building skills, like amazing. So Avian, how do you feel about the actual call though?
I feel like it was good. I think like for sure I could have maybe put some more energy into it to get her more motivated toward the end, to move her towards painting the picture a little bit more clearly. But I kind of lost track of time too. I can't believe that it's already been 7 minutes. It flies.
Right. No, and when you're building rapport, time does fly. And this is a pretty good lesson for us all, because remember, at the end of the day, we're trying to buy a house. We're not talking to our sister or our grandmother, right? Like there's a borderline between too much rapport and building that Pace always calls it dogs and cats, talking about dogs and cats versus kind of staying on track with the property and kind of pulling it back. Like you go out, but then you pull it back. It's like fishing. You throw your line out, but then you pull it back and you get back on course. And so I think that there were certain parts where it may have been too long, at least for this call, at least for what we're doing here. But at the end of the day, you were moving through each thing that was read to you, and you were taking your time to try to gather some of that information. At the end of the day, she was still blowing a lot of ISS up your butt. There was a lot of that intellectual smokescreen that was being painted. And Lynn said it that there were things that, like, pulling in on the pain, and I'll just give it away because of time now. The kids is a problem here. Mm-hmm. The husband kids are a problem, and she did drop a little nugget. That little nugget was the husband kids haven't been very helpful. That was one of the nuggets. There was also another nugget, and these are the branches now. Let's get into talking about these branches. When someone passes, one of the first questions you want to know and understand, especially if it's a recent marriage, you want to know, and you ask the question, but she blew smoke. Did you guys buy this property together? And somebody else asked this question before, Ted, I believe, but she didn't answer the question because there wasn't a direct answer. Are you both on the deed? Dawn is not on the deed. That's one of the main reasons why she's having difficulty selling this property. Mm-hmm. Dawn is not on the deed. And while some of the questions were asked, it wasn't asked directly, and she kind of danced around that question.
I did mention that my husband owned the house and then I moved in with him. So I thought that was a perfect opportunity for someone.
It was for, and Avian sort of touched it, but she didn't hound in on it long enough. And the other thing would have been wills. Understanding their wills, asking like, hey, was there a will in place? Is this property in probate? Since you're not on the deed, right? Like these are the lines of questions that kind of goes with someone that's deceased. You want to understand, hey, who's the executor on this property if it's finished probate? Like you just want to go down these lines of questions when it comes to somebody dying and passing. Now, if the person, the wife, is on the deed, then these questions are not necessary because she has the power to sell this house. And the reason why it's been difficult for her to sell the property is because she don't own the property. And the kids aren't being helpful because they want their father's property. Get out. You just got here, woman. You know, so So that was a lot of the pain. And ultimately, she wouldn't be able to sell this house because she doesn't have the power to. And so although she wants to, she's trying to get that quick come up, you know what I mean? So that's basically, and I threw in a lot of smoke screen in there because like the hip surgery and all of that, like that's great, but that's a smoke screen. I also said when the property is all fixed up, that's a smoke screen in terms of condition of the property. And so there were a few smoke screens in there, which you guys focused on instead of picking up on those one or two nuggets that would get you to the real pain, get you to really understanding what's going on. And I don't know if you guys could relate to having real seller calls. You gotta hear that in between thing that they're not really saying. So they'll continue, they'll talk, and they may give you something, but if you're not able to pick up on that one line that they said in the middle of a whole paragraph, that kind of gives like, oh, so they're not being helpful. How come? Why not? Do you guys have a good relationship? And you try to get into that, right? To then be able to paint a better picture. So
That was super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
absolutely. Here's what.
These are great questions to ask us. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please. You go ahead. Karen.
Yeah, I was gonna say these are great questions to ask. These are great things to know, guys. This like Keston is setting us up for success. These are especially when somebody has died. These are things we need to know. And in general, you should be asking the seller that you're speaking to if there is any other decision maker. I know the decision maker in this aspect has passed away, but like, are they on the deed? So take these as huge gold nuggets that Keston set us up with. Keston, I know that we have 12 minutes left. What do you have time for? Do you have time for a role play? Would you like to do Q&A? It's up to you, man. You brought so much value. We would appreciate anything that you could pour into us some more.
I have time for questions. Q&A.
Questions, perfect. Let's do Q&A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the hands that I see right now. Okay. If you guys would like to be able to ask Keston a question, raise your hand. Perfect. Luz has her hand up. So Luz, what's your question for Keston? I like that. We're going to do questions with Keston.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Is she muted? There we go. Now we're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, most of my questions were related to this case from Dawn, because she never talked about kids and everything. So while the explanation, I was right on my questions. She's not entitled, so why she's selling questions? But the other questions that I had was related to it's like a weird acting as psychologist here. Not all people are open to say many things, especially here in Miami. They will have tell you from the get-go, are you gonna buy it or not? Why are you asking so many questions to me? That's not your business.
So
answer to that toughness.
Yeah, and you do get that. What that means is that we haven't been able to get through the first part of the setting of the submarine, which is building rapport, which is understanding and being able to throw them off, which is why I have my own rule of I build rapport in the first 10 minutes. I always try to find something that is not about the house that I could relate with them with, try to make them laugh. If they're driving, say, oh man, it sounds like you don't have time for this call. It seems like you're on the road, like you're pretty busy. And hey, so heading to the grocery store, like a business meeting, I would always try to find something to open up a conversation that's away from being a salesperson. And so if you're unable to pass through that first part of the submarine, there's no deal. And the person would treat you like another salesperson. Remember, This is your like call number 5, call number 10 for the day. If you don't have a different intro or something like that, they'll just get rid of you, especially if you're in a hot market like Miami. So being able to build rapport, ask different questions up front would be the key to being able to get through a little bit further. And also, it's a very hot market. If it like, there's some people that just want what they want, and so there's no deal there, unless you're paying market prices. So don't feel bad about it. There's no deal there.
Got you. So is it okay to keep it in a slow pace, or is better to just like put a little bit of gas into it, just a little bit? Because I felt that they were so slow. The conversations, all of them, were very. I don't know. I wouldn't have time to call even 10 sellers in a day, because it's gonna be, whoa, do we have time for that? Or you suggest to speed it up a little bit, or what is your suggestion?
Great question. And my answer to that is, I'll ask you back a question. Do you rather hit your KPIs of calling 50 sellers a day, or do you rather speak to 10 sellers and get 2 or 3 contracts because you've properly pulled out their pain and you've gotten them to close themselves?
Well, my people. I mean, to close it myself, the tough ones, I will get them. I will do the other ones.
So let me, I don't know if you understood what I was saying.
Probably not.
So would it make more sense to you? Everyone is different. It seems like hitting the KPIs of calling and speaking to a specific number of sellers makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you're doing the work, versus taking a seller through building that rapport and understanding their pain, and getting a contract. Which one would be more beneficial to you?
The second one.
Exactly. And so this method, not that it takes long, because you should be able to disqualify someone if they don't have pain. And so you're listening for these pain points. And if they don't have pain, you disqualify them and you move on. But if they do, it's worth it to have these conversations with sellers and get just one contract, versus talking to 10 sellers, 20 sellers, and no contracts, because you're a salesperson and 10 people called and it's just like, oh, you're just like them. You're another person, yes. Right? So ultimately that comes down to you. That comes down to what you're trying to achieve.
So in this case, how do you get rid of Dawn, knowing that she's not entitled, because she's not in the title? How do you get rid of her and talk to the stepsons, because those are the ones that have more right?
So in this situation, it could go 2 ways, one of 2 ways. You could either educate Dawn and let her know, hey, the reason why it's difficult for you is because you're not on title, and so you don't actually have the power to sell this property. A lot of people believe because they're married to someone that they actually have the power to sell a property, and that's not the truth. And so you'd have to educate her and let her know that, and then see if, depending on the relationship with the kid, see if they could work something out to be able to sell the property and then give them something. But that's only if the kid allows it and if they like her. And so getting on the phone with the kid is ultimately what you'd have to do to kind of see where you would be. Other than that, it's not a deal. So now you would be like, oh, so hey kid, what do you actually want to accomplish with this property? And figure out what the kid wants. If you could provide a solution to the kid awesome. If not, if the kid wants to keep the property, it's no deal. So you just kind of have to move on to the decision maker. There's no point in talking to a non-decision maker.
Thank you, K-Stone. I feel more powerful now. I appreciate it.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you.
Great question, Luz.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Daryl. What you got? Let's try and run through these.
It was kind of along the lines from Lou's question. I have a seller that I'm working on that, like, you know, with dealing with retired landlords, you're not always gonna have that pain. It's always like, look, I'm getting old, so I just need to sell it. So like, how do you deal with those types of sellers that are like getting in their 70s, reaching old age? They don't really have to sell, but they want to because they're just getting up in age.
Well, that is, these are my favorite people, bro, to talk to. And that is a smokescreen. It's the truth, but it's a smokescreen. And so understanding what life looks like for them is going to be where the pain really is. And so asking them, what are their intentions once they sell? Asking them about if there's actually any pain. So is there, like, when are you still getting a lot of calls? Is this being a lot for you? Asking them those questions, right, and then pairing it with what does life look like after selling these properties. Are you going to fund this for your grandkids? Are you and your wife going to travel the world? Is this like your social security? How does one go from being so busy with 20 properties to now doing nothing? What's going to happen? You want to ask these questions because someone just don't go from working that hard to just sitting on a beach. It's impossible. And so that's why a lot of people die after retirement, because their brain is just like slowing down. And so you want to paint that picture of what life could look like. And this is where you get seller finance deals, because now it's like, if I could take all this away from you where you don't have to do the work, but you're still getting that monthly check, but you can't paint this picture until you know what their plans are afterwards, right? Like, and so you paint that picture to them, bro, seller finance deals all day.
That's what I was trying to do with this one seller that I have in mind. And I didn't ask those particular questions, like what are they gonna do after they sell? More of like, are you getting all these headaches and all this stuff being a landlord? And she was just smoke screen after smoke screen, and I painted the picture a little too early, and she thinks I'm trying to scam her now.
Okay. You know, here's my line, right? That I like to open up these conversations with. I say, oh my goodness. So you got to be really interested in it, right? Like, oh my goodness. So tell me, I love asking any person that's in a position of where I'm going. I love asking this question, because at some point right now, I imagine I'm like you, where I'm buying all this property, but at some point there's going to come a time that makes me want to sell it. What does life look like when you sell these properties, right? And so you show them, like, I'm you in your day now, and you can have that age. How old are you, young man? I'm 35. Like, oh, I remember when I was 35, blah, 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 blah. And then they go back to what it looks like for them now and what they're trying to do. And you build, so you're asking the questions, building rapport, but you're still getting the right answer to what you need to paint the picture. And so that's how I deal with these types of sellers.
But okay, and I think I'm definitely gonna lead that call off with that today. I appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
All right. Keston, it's 7:00. Do you want to try this last question if we can be quick?
Yeah, let's do Jeff real quick.
Really quick. This last one, Jeff. Be quick because Keston's got plans.
Okay. Yes. Just Keston, thank you, man. You're a master at this. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time and all you bring to this Daily Dial.
I love doing it.
Yeah. Quickly, so when you build rapport, how long? You said you have about 10 minutes. You really don't go on. This should take about 10 minutes, the whole call, right?
It depends. It depends if you're dealing with like probate, it could possibly take longer.
Mhm.
If you're dealing with a seller that has a portfolio, it could take a little bit
Right.
longer.
Okay.
So because
quickly,
you go down that branch of questions and you
Okay.
want to cover it. So it depends on the motivation, really.
Yeah, so the question would be how soon you paying back the picture. So you get the pain like in this scenario earlier. Maybe you can offer a solution. What if I could offer you a solution for your problems? I mean, sooner after you find that her knee was like the biggest pain, you know?
Right? The need, it's the main thing. There's
Okay.
other things to it because here's the key. The key is she's had right? Like, okay, you want to sell, but you've had difficulty selling. Like, I don't care what's wrong with your knee. I don't care that your kids moved out and now you and your husband lives in a 4,000 square feet property. Like, there's something else under that you need to ask and get the answer to. Because why haven't you been able to do it? Like, what's wrong?
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Sounds good. So
Also,
the knee actually wasn't okay. That's a smoke screen.
the knee was the intellectual smokescreen.
Okay.
And it's here's the thing with an intellectual smoke screen. It doesn't mean that it's a lie. It just means that there's a bigger thing under there that is the actual answer that would allow you to get the call, the sale closed. You know, it's like anything. You ask yourself why you're doing something. Everyone would say, "Oh, I'm doing real estate for financial freedom," but why? You keep asking yourself, "But why?" And then you realize it's because of when you were 5, your mom made you do this, and you're not trying to recreate the life that they had for you. And it's always, and until you ask yourself why, you're gonna it's all a smoke screen. Like everybody said, "Oh, I want financial freedom." Yeah. But why? like why? You know?
Okay.
So it's the same thing. Everyone has that typical answer. But until you dig in, you wouldn't have the real truth.
Thank you, man. That's so
Custom.
helpful. Thank you.
Jeff, is that good? Did that help you there?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Custom, thank you so much for doing this daily dial. Like you are just uncovering so many things from the Sandler submarine. I feel like even I overlooked. I really love you just explaining that smoke screen right there. Like that is part of it, but you have to dig deeper. Guys, think about that. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why 5 different times. Keston, you're the best. If I want to work with you, I know that you are in the Georgia market, Atlanta market specifically. I know you moved from New York. Do you only work in Georgia?
We actually do deals nationwide now. We help people with deals nationwide, and this would be kind of coming out pretty soon and how we could do that. But for now, if you got deals that you'd like me to JV with and talk to sellers, just reach out to me for now on Facebook. Reach out to me on Facebook, the name Keston Glasgow, or on if you prefer Instagram, Kes on Purpose is my Instagram handle. Kes on Purpose.
KESONE on purpose, right?
Kes.
Did I just mess it up?
Well,
KESON purpose. There we go. All right, Keston. Thank you, dude. I know that you are very regimented on your time, so I know we're already 5 minutes over. Thank you for spending the extra 5 minutes with us. You've brought immense value. I can't wait to see what everybody thought of today. Have a good day, dude. Guys, let's go jump into the 0 to hero. Thank you, Keston.
Awesome. Have a good day, guys.
Bye, guys.
See, this question. Interesting. Wonder. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Yes. Mhm. Two. 10. 2. 10. 20. 5. 1000. 9. 5. So, yes. No answer. Someone's review. I go back. 10 minutes less. No. No answer. Just. Yes. Hold on. Bro. Mm. 8. 2.
There's some people that are on their phone, so they can't really take the poll. Interesting. So I've got 4 people so far. Mostly everybody's saying season 1 action takers, right? So it's a more sense in a essential standpoint. It would not be a good idea to go season 1 building a business. Well, first off, I don't know a single wholesaler, not a single wholesaler or real estate investor who has an automated business that is not completely overwhelmed in their life without VA. So this isn't just about building it's about building the real estate business the only way I know how to pull yourself out of it. So if you're trying to build a business in real estate and you're just trying to do deals, that's called a hobby. That's not called a business. We're building a business here. We're putting people in place that will do automated actions every single day so that we can pull ourselves out and we can do certain things that are a higher purpose, right? A true business. So if you're talking about that, you do your buts about it. It's not an opinion, it is a fact. It is an absolute fact. You show me one scaled real estate investor in the country that doesn't have a VA, and I will show you a liar. It's just business in 2021 in general. Right. I mean, insurance providers, trucking companies, everybody's using VAs. Everybody.
Any brand you can imagine. Macy's. I guarantee Macy's has VA virtual assistants.
Oh, bro, so many. I don't know one real estate investor that is scaled that does not need to be inside their business every single day, 8 to 12 hours a day, that is not using VA. So, if we do that in season 1, where we show you how to build an automated business that you can and not essentially have another job, because there's a lot of real estate investors I stay full time to realize that now work in my real estate investing business than I ever.
How I make the offer. I did a few things that were crucial to me getting this deal at my desired price.
From day one.
Take a listen. Yeah, Kevin, I'm calling about your property for sale on site. Yeah, do you have a minute to talk about that? Okay. Okay. I'm an investor. I do flips in the area and was kind of looking at it for a flip. What can you tell me about it?
I mean, it's my mom's house. We had to put her in assisted living, so that's why she's selling it. She was there 32 years, so most of the stuff in there is probably original.
Yeah.
But
does it need a roof? It's kind of hard to tell from
the roof was recovered about like 15 years ago.
Okay.
And so there is a storage.
So the suggestion, Jacob Barker, my brother, was that we take the referral-based business from season 2 and we place it into season 3, because referral-based business is a great way to get started. It's a great way if you have a low budget to just jump right into the game, but it's not a great way to automate your business because you are relying on wholesalers, you are relying on real estate agents. So there's less automation and a lot less reliability there. So Dylan Good made a great suggestion. What's that process look like so that it's a continuation of season 1 so that we don't lose the momentum and the conversations are the exact same?
You guys want to see Jerome and Daryl closing deals? Is that what you want?
Yes, that's what season 2 should be. I think Jerome and Daryl should be closing deals. Love the suggestion. I think that.
Is this Charles? It is what it is. There it is. I love it.
Job site every day. You can get to know the guys. You can watch the process, and you can be part of it.
Especially as competitive. I'm sure there's a lot of things like I need more deals.
Hi, it's Charles.
Yeah, please call, please.
Yeah, this is Joseph. I'm calling about property owned on River Road.
Also see how to delegate.
I was looking to see if you guys are interested in selling that property.
Which one?
The one on River Road, 4109.
Up River Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, the price is $500,000.
500,000. Is it listed?
No.
Got it. All right. What can you tell me about it?
Well, it's one bath. It's built in 33, and it's everything's been out of it. All cabinets. It's got behind it. It's got standby generator with fed by natural gas. And it's got a rebuilt garage with electric door and security system.
Cool. Was it rented before, or was it your personal residence?
No, we used it for an office.
Oh, I see. Got it. So you're looking to sell it now. Are you gonna list it on the market, or you're looking first to get a cash offer?
Well, if you got a cash offer of 500,000, we can talk, but I'm firm on that price.
On that price. Okay. Got it. All right. Let me see what I can do, and then I'll call you back. I'll run some numbers, and I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right. What I didn't do is I didn't get exact information. Okay. So, hey, Philip.
Hello?
Hey, is this Philip?
No, man, that's you got the wrong number.
Oh, wrong number. Sorry. Maybe it's that. What it is. So I have. He said 5 acres. I know 5 acres, 500,000. I can talk about that. So, the price. Okay. Is that like?
And here we go. Every month, that's a 13th payment he's paid me. $147. He's got 30 more of those payments to make. That's a lot of sushi. So Dylan Good took action. Right? He was taking action, but he was in this brain state at the time. And self-admittedly, he admits this. This is not me teasing. He's like, you're right. I was in overanalyze mode. I was just overanalyzing everything. So, Cody, you in here? Can we hear you or no?
I am here.
Oh, hey, we had a really good conversation here. Lost his connection. There he is. So, Cody, Dylan Good, feeling good, one of my favorite students. Dylan Good asked a question. He said, "What if you did?"
What if you did? So it's
Season 2, instead of doing a referral-based business like we were talking about, like how to go work with wholesalers and real estate agents to go build a referral-based business. Because here we go. I've got all our flips on this page right here. Okay, we talked about our fix and flip this morning in our partnership meeting.
Good morning, Miss Brandon. How may I help you?
hey, good morning. Am I speaking? Do you know anybody by the name of Eliosa?
That came from referrals.
Not that I'm familiar with.
Right?
Okay, my bad, wrong number.
The other 11.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
And so Dylan Good says, you know what? I really feel like it would be amazing if you went from season 1, which is how to automate my business, how to build a business from scratch, steps 1 through whatever. Then in season 2, instead of doing a referral-based business, which would be somewhat of a deviation, I would love to see you do season 2 by scaling your existing business and getting your existing VAs to become lead managers, and then maybe even become an acquisition specialist. And I was like, that actually makes way more sense from a logical standpoint, right? You actually have the forward momentum. And the part that you missed is that we took a poll. The poll was, should we do season 2 this way? Everybody unanimously agrees. Guys, give me a comment in the side chat if you agree we should do season 2 as this, right? Cody, why is your room? It's because that's what he does. Right before I two should be. Here's what the challenge that we have here. If we did season 2, I wouldn't want more people just consuming more content. We action team, right? So would it be okay if we did season 2, but we limited it to people who actually went through and took action on season 1? Does that make sense, Cody? Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people, Cody, you probably get plenty of people reach out to you with you based, where a lot of people want to scale a business that doesn't exist. They want to skip the season 2, right? And not do what happens when happens. So I think chronologically.
What up, bros?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Keston? How are you?
We did have a lot of, we did.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Doing all right. You guys had a good holiday?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Birthday boy in the house. Me and Joe, birthdays are within 1 week apart. Awesome.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Just to like show goodwill.
Say you and who's Joel?
Joe's birthday was last week, and my birthday was Sunday or Saturday.
Oh, okay. Say it was this Sunday that just passed?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
Happy belated. How did you celebrate?
Went to the family house and we had like a couple of days and then watched fireworks. And yeah, nothing special, but it's nice to be with our family.
That is special.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely special. I'm about to have a meeting on one of my other Zoom that would force us to have to quit this one. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna figure this all out by next week, just so that when the Zero to Hero challenge is done, we can have something official kind of in place, so that we can start guiding people into this virtual office. Since it's being done next week, is Zero to Hero is being finished next week or this week. I'll hit you up and we could discuss some ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
And move from there. Cool?
Not a problem, man. Sounds good.
So let us maybe meet back on here around 12.
12.
And,
What's your time now? Is it 11 or 10?
It's about to be 11.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so around 12, maybe a little, because if the meeting goes over, it will be a little after 12. But let's touch base around that time, or I'll just hit you guys up and let you know, hey, finished. Let's make the dream work.
No problem, man. I love it. I'll check you back then.
Awesome. See you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right.
Those are all sub 2 students. Literally every one of those 15 people are sub 2 students. So my question is, why haven't you guys squatted up with Jenny higher? Why haven't you guys found this and that? I know there's a lot of partnerships, or not partnerships, joint venture. Don't call it a partnership with dating already? Why haven't you guys joint venture? Right? Like who in here has not? Ask a final question. Is everybody in here? 300 people in here. Do you guys all understand components? This is absolute gift to you guys. Yes. Give Cody and Massey things.
Hello, Vincent?
His baby mama. What up, girl? His baby mama is. I want you guys to recognize it. What have we gained financially from you guys being in here?
Hello?
Nothing. Other than just showing you that we're up and that I want one thing. What do I want? I want you guys to be successful. That's it. And so if you do a season 2, I believe that I will allow people if they will not be successful. That's why I keep harping on this as well. I'm talking about this because I'm fearful if we do something. I think season 2 will be fun. I think we have a blast doing it. Is it really going to accomplish what we want to, which is to get running, automated, successful?
I'm in the success story. I'm in the success story.
It's something that no one. We're not doing stuff no one else is doing.
Guys, this has been a good warm-up session. Sorry, longer than normal, but this is a good conversation, Matt. We should have a conversation on camera about this. Yep, for sure. We'll see you in the next session. Later. Later.
La 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 later 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 later. Charles. Hey Charles, it's Joseph. Hi. Calling about property on Vineyard Drive, Corpus Christi. Can you tell me about it? Looking at the property, I'm an investor. I'm looking at the property, properties in the area. I'm looking at this property for a flip. I'm looking at it for a flip. I'm at it for a flip. I'm an investor for properties in the area. I'm looking at it for a flip. I'm an investor for the property in the area. I'm looking at it for a flip. I'm an investor for the property in the properties in the area. I'm looking at it for flip. I'm an investor for the properties in the area. For flip. I'm an investor for the property in the area. I'm looking at it for a flip. I'm looking at it for a flip. Hey, it's Robert.
Who's this?
This is Joseph. I'm calling about the property you own on Pierce Drive.
Oh, hello.
Hey. You guys looking to sell the property?
No, not at the moment. No.
Oh, okay, no problem. Is this something like 6 months or 1 year, or maybe you just gonna keep it?
I'm not sure yet. It's my current property at the moment. I'm probably going to keep it for a while. May rent it out, but nothing. There's no.
Okay, no problem. I'll check back in like 6 months or so.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, is this a member of H.H. Davis LLC?
What now?
Are you a member of H.H. Davis LLC, owner of Ramona Drive, 443?
Yeah.
Got it. Are you guys looking to sell that property anytime soon?
No. Hadn't thought about it.
Okay. What would make you think?
Yeah, because there's about 5 too much trouble.
Oh, I see. You guys, maybe is it an issue of if the right price was presented, you guys will be okay, or you guys want to just keep it, something like that?
No, we don't want to sell. It's too much trouble.
Okay.
Three of the guys won't ever agree on anything.
I see. Was it inherited? Is it probate issue? Like, is it on court and stuff like inherited property?
No, it doesn't matter. Okay, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.
No. Oh yeah. Two students have a week. Like the one you attended.
Yeah, see if I could ask something again. Joe? I was just saying what happened yesterday, man. I thought you were coming.
Let's go. Hello, Chula. Hey, you got. Oh, hello.
What?
I'm Lloyd.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm calling about property you have on Waterfall Street. Are you guys looking to sell that one?
And if I did, 64.
160. All right, let me see. I'll take a look at the number. Give you a call back.
Okay.
Hey, hello, I'm you have water. Repair, repair, repair. Hello. Morning. Antonio Medina, Tony T. Tony Manuel, Roberto.
Please.
Lynn.
Take me off your list, please.
Right. Raquel. Bird Island Investments. So, Geraldine, Geraldine, word, play, oh, heal.
What's going on?
I'm looking to sell out.
No,
I see. Got it. What's the criteria that you're looking for?
I look for something that's about under 150,000. I like the smaller houses. I'm having a construction company, so I can fix them square foot and make money.
Okay, I see. And what's the for like?
I don't understand the question.
Like let's say we get think 450. Are you looking to buy it as is at 100,000?
What kind of condition it's in? I want to be able to sell it for about $80 a square foot and make money on it.
I see. Okay. Okay, no problem. And is that a specific zip code?
No, not really.
All over South Texas. I'll
San
keep you in mind.
Antonio, Corpus Valley, wherever.
I see. Got it. Got it. Not a problem. When I'll add, is there an email?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it's the same. Warm, strong, 1232.
Yep, that'll work.
I'll definitely make sure to send it to you.
Okay.
Are you a flip? Hello?
Hold on, real quick. Let me pull up this report. So, yeah. That happens, guys. I mean,
Okay.
Oh no, the wrong. Hello.
12.
Hello.
Am I talking to Veronica? Hey, my name is Joseph. I'm a flipper in the area.
I'm not gonna sell the property, please. Don't call me.
the seller in it, but what I didn't know
disclosures. We're having a relationship with just buyer.
Perfect. I
Things that most of these title companies, most of these, law attorneys, closing attorneys, you're a good title company, and is says this is the
is never enough. My constant question is, am I making enough impact?
Put you in a position where put you in a position to elevate, right? So you could do things that and we all want to make more. So, funny because they make a big deal of the accents, and they're like, I don't know, like most people on the team, and the accents just go. Oh, hey. What's up, my goodness. But for leading up to the Garth Brooks tribute band, they kind of sound like no one's like. Man, this isn't single A, this is double A, this is the big leagues. Right? Actually, you're ready for a good night's sleep. Yeah. And I'm grateful for all the comments.
Hello.
Hey, is this on?
I'm gonna have this phone number in about 3 months. Okay?
And drive it. Just sell that property. Out of here.